So welcome back to the F350 build and the channel. I am using my smaller camera, so the audio may be a little bit different. Starting the video off at the dealership because I want to go check out one of the F350s over there just to see where that hood release cable runs. So I'm going to do that, and then also I'm probably going to get another 2 things of coolant because I just want to make sure. I just got out of Walmart, got 6 gallons of distilled water. I am prepared today. Checked out that blue platinum over there, figured out where the hood relief cable runs, so now I'm gonna go put mine on. All right, I got an extra gallon of coolant, even though I didn't need it. So the whole cooling system should take 8 gallons. So I had 4 gallons of non-diluted, I had 4 gallons of distilled. This cable, I thought it ran up here somewhere, and I couldn't find anything online where this stupid cable ran. So actually, it literally just runs underneath all this stuff right here, and then just comes up through right here, and then goes over. So all that, trying to figure out where it goes, and it was pretty much where it needed to be. When all the stuff wasn't there, I was just worried that that wasn't the correct location. So I figured out exactly where the hood release cable ran. So it goes here. There's a little pin thing that goes in right there, that comes down here, runs below the heater hose right there, and below this water to air. Then once I put the fender liner, you could see I got this all bolted in. There are 3 clips, one right there, one right there, and one right there for the hood release cable. So I'm gonna connect this. I'm gonna put the old intake back on. I'm going to fill up the coolant. One thing is my AC lines aren't in yet, or the replacement AC line. I also have a new one of these. So what I'm probably going to do is stick the old one back on here so I can connect it to the AC condenser just so nothing can get in it. And then when the new one comes, I can put it on. So back over at Ford, because they got my line in, so I could just put this on instead of the used one. And the only reason I got a new one was because that one had a dent in it. So I should be good now. I'm gonna pull the battery out so I could replace this AC line, put in that 90 that I just got from the dealership, and then I'll put the battery and bolt the battery tray in because it's only held in by 1 bolt, and then put the airbox in. The new AC line on, both of them. This little 90 right here I had to order separately because I thought it came with this line. Got it today at Ford. And then I put this line on as well. Also torqued the passenger side engine mount. I still haven't done the calipers or anything. I'm going to bleed the coolant system now, so I permanently mounted the battery in until I get my new airbox. Put the old airbox in with the hose. So now I'm going to start it up, let the power steering fluid and the coolant bleed. I did bleed the coolant out of here. That's what that little plug is on that EGR delete. There was coolant, a lot of coolant in it. And when I loosened it, it shot the plug out, so I had to hold my finger on it so I didn't lose that much coolant. I lost maybe a quart or so, but yeah, I got that back in there. It was kind of a pain. I ended up pulling that whole little dust cover shield, this thing off to get that plug, but I got it back in. Yesterday when I started, it was rolling quite a bit of coal. That's because the mass airflow sensor wasn't plugged in. It wasn't even, there wasn't even an intake on here. So I'm going to plug that in, and it shouldn't roll as much coal because this is a low smoke tune. Give her the startup, and oh, I saw it shooting coolant over here. I'm not exactly sure where from. Oh, look at that. That heater hose line, I'd never noticed that that was broken off. There must be a nipple that goes on it, and it was broken. So just pulling into the post office, see if you guys sent me anything. I do have a PO box in the description if you want to send me any fan mail. But usually I don't do this because I haven't gotten very much. Just got the hose from Ford. So I'm gonna pull this old heater hose off now, replace it with this new one. You can see the little nipple right there that is busted off right there. It's still on that hose, so I'm gonna have to get that nipple out. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put this T back in, undo it right here, and then you know, put that straight in there. I think that's how it's supposed to go. And then I think it goes in that little slot right there. You got that little piece out of the hose, and I got it all connected. Then over here I used proper clamps. They gave, you know, some janky clamps, so I ended up using that T. I just took out that little hose. I didn't use their little extension, and you know, that looks a little bit cleaner. I like these clamps a lot better because they don't actually mess the hose up. They're fuel line clamps. I have the coolant filled up. It will need to bleed, so I'll have to add some. I already pre-mixed another 2 gallons of coolant, and the secondary is also filled as well. All right, start her up and bleed the coolant system. Definitely need to add secondary coolant. I'm going to do that right now. All right, so topped off the primary coolant and the secondary coolant, and now I'm just letting it kind of, you know, bleed. Yeah, I need to figure out what's going on with the brakes. I wanted to drive it home today, but I'm definitely not going to drive it home with no brakes. The parking brake should work, but I mean, I can't believe this thing has like 0, like none. Like even when you pump it, unless it's like, no, there's no way it's that easy, because it doesn't even get firm. So not exactly sure what's going on with the brake system. I'm gonna get the old guy that has worked here forever. I'm just waiting for him to get in the right position. I'm gonna get him. Watch him. Got everything torqued. The wheels are on. One thing I almost forgot to do was put the nuts on the cross member for the transmission. So I'll do that now. I put the steering nut on, and I kind of pushed this thing back. The passenger side door isn't doing anything, and the carpet was moved back, so I think they have it unplugged somewhere. I'm guessing that's what happened. They also disconnected this little strap, so I'll have to reconnect that because this thing opens like super far, and I don't want it to pinch a fender, like one of the new fenders, after I'm put it on. So I will pretty much tidy this all up and then get that strap back on and get all this kind of assembled over here. I am not exactly sure what I'm going to do about the brakes. I may take it to the dealer and have them bleed them, or I may bring my vacuum bleeder and bleed them myself and see if that remedies the issue. This radiator hose up here has a drip, but I think it might go away after I drive it, so we'll see about that. I just feel like it is, you know, the seal probably just needs to get a little bit warm. So pulled the truck back all the way in, closed the door. I'm going to disconnect the batteries. I'm going to try to figure out what's up with the steering wheel. I have to remove the airbag, so I need to disconnect the batteries so there isn't any power going to it. It's always precaution. Also, something weird is going on with my sink and my passenger side door. I think it was happening before, but I really didn't pay attention. So something weird is going on with my sink and my passenger side door. So the power extend on the mirror works, the window doesn't work, the lock works, the mirror doesn't work, but this courtesy light works. So I'm not exactly sure what it is. And my sink seems to be kind of glitchy. The climate control doesn't work on the display or on the screen. On the screen, you could actually select stuff, but you know, none of the knobs for the stereo or the climate control work, which is very weird. And I'm not exactly sure. I think that's related somehow. The sink and this mirror not wanting to power fold, and the window maybe not wanting to go down either. So I thought it might have been that they unplugged the harness, but I pulled it out and it was plugged in. The other thing I was thinking is they might have removed the mirror and not connected everything. So I do know that doesn't have anything to do. There's no correlation between the sink not controlling the climate control. So maybe that isn't the issue. But another thing I was thinking was maybe it was because of the accident. But Trevor's 16 took a lot harder hit than my truck. I believe his truck took a lot harder hit because it pretty much hit the frame and bent it. Not as bad as mine, but the truck also fell on its side and rolled. So I feel like that would be more of a shock than just, an abrupt stop. And it's not all the time, it doesn't seem. So the window, I almost was able to get it to roll down with the switch. I started rolling it down and then I rolled it up and then it wouldn't work again. So I'm not exactly sure what's going on. It's just kind of glitchy. But the engine and everything runs good. I'm not sure if the tranny shifts well. I did put it in reverse and then forward, but without the brakes working, I'm not going to go drive it. So tomorrow I'm probably going to bring my vacuum bleeder so I can bleed all the brakes. I don't know. I doubt there's any air in it. It's just weird. I'm pretty sure the brakes worked before, but I'm not exactly sure if they did because I wasn't really paying attention. I asked Trevor and he can't remember. So I'm gonna get this airbag out, figure out what's wrong with this steering wheel because it has like this weird slop in it. Pulled the airbag out of the steering wheel. I disconnected, there's a plug right here and the airbag plug itself right there. Both of those this one has like a little orange thing you just push up and then pop that out. And that one you just kind of pull out. I'd put it back in, and then you just pull it out. But it looks like the nut or the bolt or whatever is actually loose. I'm not exactly sure why that is, why the bolt would be loose without the steering wheel being taken off. Maybe the steering wheel was taken off before. I'm not exactly sure. So tighten the bolt back down. There is no more play in the steering wheel. The reason I believe that there was play in the steering wheel, I thought about it. And, this truck was at a body shop. They were probably going to repair it at one point in time. I believe that this probably came out. The steering wheel would have had to come off because this turn signal switch was busted off. I checked all the fuses on the body control module inside the truck, and none of them were popped. I pulled the module out because this was wrecked on this side. It didn't really affect the cab, but I just wanted to make sure, just in case, that the back, something I didn't see didn't go into the back of this. So I pulled it out. Everything looks good. I'm going to put it back in the truck. I then came into this and I'm starting to look in the fuses. I found one pop 10 amp one, so I'll replace that and see what happens with that. But I'm going to keep looking through that. And hopefully I solve all these issues with the sink lagging and stuff not working correctly. One thing that I'm really pumped about is right back here, you can't really see it, but there's a fuse for the power running boards. So this may have the modules for the power running boards, and I may be able to find the wiring. It should be tucked up somewhere in the body. So now the passenger window works with the passenger switch, but not with the driver switch. I think what happened, I'm not exactly sure if this is what happened, but that was a pop fuse, and I'm missing a lot of fuses and I think I'm missing a few relays as well. I'm not sure if this happened here or at the co-part. So this truck wouldn't start because it was stuck in reverse. That being said, either somebody at the body shop or at the co-part yard, or somebody out here at the junkyard when the body was just sitting out there, somebody robbed fuses and relays. That's the simplest thing I could think of, because now that window works. I bet you if I filled that thing with all the fuses and relays that are supposed to be in it, I think it'll probably remedy my issue, and I won't have an issue anymore. So I need to figure out with the factory manual what fuses and relays I need to get, and after that I should be able to hopefully remedy all these issues with the, and that could be the issue why the, you know, the sink is lagging, because it's missing certain circuits for it to actually be able to function. It might not be seeing what it needs to see in those areas, like the climate control might be throwing it off, because the climate control half works but half doesn't. So I'm going to do this tomorrow because I need to go to the store. It's already pretty late. So tomorrow what I'm going to do, I'm going to bleed the brakes. Hopefully that remedies that issue. I'll put the fuses and relays in. Hopefully that remedies that issue. And then if that is the case, I could drive this thing home, put the fenders in the hood, and get this thing all ready. I'll bring this one of these wheels and tires and the other aluminum wheel, and I'll swap that onto aluminum, so all my wheels are matching in aluminum, and then when I clean them they'll look nice. But other than that, I think that is it for this video. So that is the end of this video. The F350 is coming along. There is a lot of finicky stuff. It is to be expected when you're rebuilding a wrecked truck or rebuilding or wreck anything. So tomorrow, hopefully I can get the brakes fixed, get all the fenders and everything on, and get all these weird sync issues with fuses and relays missing. If you like the videos, make sure to click that subscribe button. Also below in the comment section, make sure to leave a comment. It really helps out the channel. Also, give this video a thumbs up. And if you haven't been on my Instagram link's right there. Hopefully in the next video, I get to drive this thing home, and see you guys then.